nothing for us in this life but separation. Heaven help you and heaven bless you.
I could sort your smallest bones in a manner that would surprise and charm you.
Oh, God made me poor again. Someone, I beg, or my heart will break.
She begs me to go away. I'll not go away.
Our Mutual Friend concludes tonight at 9 on BBC2.
Stand by for action now as BBC2 recalls the days when they called radio fab.
This Easter weekend sees some sartorially challenged adult male humans compete in the US Masters. Delves into the life of Noel Coward, a witty but phonically disadvantaged non-living white European male.
We're living in strange times, darling. It's as well to be prepared for anything.
An optically impaired living European joins in a musical tribute to Noel Coward himself. Then, Later with Jules presents M-People. Easter Monday is politically incorrect night featuring anatomically advanced people of female origin. This Easter weekend on BBC2.
I think a lot of this political correctness is a lot of nonsense. I really do.
A summary of the latest news now on BBC2 with Moira Stuart.
Good afternoon. A man has appeared at the Old Bailey charged with causing the deaths of 2 young people when their car was allegedly rammed in West London last October. Jason Humble, who's 33, pleaded not guilty to the unlawful killing of Toby Exley and his girlfriend Karen Martin.
The fatal crash happened on the A316 road at Hanworth. The prosecution said a witness saw Humble's car, a powerful 3-litre Vauxhall Senator, bump a Ford Fiesta driving in front 3 times. The Fiesta went out of control, crossed the central reservation and hit an oncoming vehicle. The driver of the Fiesta was 22-year-old Toby Exley. Both he and his girlfriend Karen Martin, who was 20, died instantly. Humble didn't stop after the accident and was arrested 2 weeks later. He told police the Fiesta had braked sharply and there was a minute possibility that his vehicle had touched it, but he said he wasn't responsible for the driver losing control. The jury were told that Jason Humble was an experienced rally driver who could do things with a car that other motorists couldn't. The prosecution said they would have to decide if on the night of the accident he became impatient with the driver of the Fiesta and forced it across the carriageway.
The Football Task Force has recommended firm action to deal with racism in the game. It's called for managers and players to have anti-racism clauses written into their contracts and for racist abuse on the terraces to be made a criminal offence.
As the football authorities continue to assess the implications of the weekend's crowd trouble, both here at Gillingham and elsewhere, 2 of the men held for questioning over the murder of a Fulham fan at Gillingham have now been released on bail without charge. A 3rd man is still being detained. At Barnsley too, the scenes of a pitch invasion brought back all too ugly memories of the football violence of a decade ago. In the run-up to the World Cup, the Independent Football Task Force is concerned.
All of us who lived through the 1980s, when football became a byword for all of the unpleasant yobbery that people disliked in British society, and there was a lot of violence that was associated with the game, organised violence at that. We must hope we're not going back to that.
The task force is now publishing its proposals to stamp out racism in the game. It's recommending the sending off of players who make racist comments and that racist abuse by fans be made a criminal offence.
The chief executive of Rolls-Royce has welcomed BMW's takeover bid. The parent company Vickers has agreed in principle to sell Rolls-Royce for £340 million. A group of Rolls-Royce owners who'd been preparing a separate bid have said they will fight the deal. A 54-year-old woman known as the Black Widow has been executed in Florida, the first woman to be put to death in the state for 150 years. Judy Buenoano was convicted of poisoning her husband, attempting to blow up her boyfriend, and drowning her handicapped son. She was sent to the electric chair. That's it for now. More news at 6 o'clock on BBC One.
Now the headlines in the southeast. Fulham fans have been gathering at Craven Cottage to pay their respects to club supporter Matthew Fox. The 24-year-old South Londoner died in clashes between fans outside Gillingham's ground on Saturday, where Fulham lost 2-0 to the Kent club. Police are still questioning a 30-year-old man. Police have named 3 foreign tourists who died in a house fire in East London on Sunday. Sophie Croon, Sean McNally and Aaron Wilson were at a party at Leytonstone when the blaze broke out. Scotland Yard says it's not treating the fire as suspicious. Postal services in London are returning to normal after workers agreed yesterday to call off unofficial strikes. Thousands of staff walked out last week in separate disputes over suspensions and overtime pay. And finally, Britain's largest bank, HSBC, has announced it's moving 8,000 jobs to Docklands by the year 2001. And that's it for the moment. Now let's take a look at the weather prospects with David Lee.
Good afternoon. As things brighten up, we still have some showers across the country, across the northwestern part of Scotland. They'll last a while but should ease away this evening, and for the end of the day most of us dry with some sunshine, although staying rather cloudy and misty I think along some of those southern coasts. Now overnight tonight we will find some cloud breaks, so the temperatures will fall lower than last night. Of course it was a record warm night for March. We'll also find some mist and fog patches too developing across the more southern areas. The clearer skies are likely across the north, and that's where the lowest temperatures will be, with possibly even a touch of ground frost across some central parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland. Tuesday then starts off with some mist and fog, particularly in the south, but that'll go, and then most places a fine dry day with some sunshine at times. That's it. Goodbye.
For young Gus, locomotives were his life.
Trains have numbers, and I write them down.
Until Cupid's arrow hit the mark.
What?
Beaches tonight with me.
But life's never easy in the tunnel of love.
Our Gus and you? It's a biological impossibility. He's a train spotter.
Look what she's done to you. She's done a brain transplant on you.
Continuing the Obsession season, Anorak of Fire, Sunday at 5 to 10 on BBC2. Who needs friends?
It's more than a friendship.
Real friends have ups.
It's like being part of a family.
Downs.
It just seems so irrational to be jealous of a man that's friendly with your boyfriend. A lot of the time it's quite claustrophobic.
And lots of passion.
Well, relationship and feeling is sort of very sexual, isn't it?
Come on, let's separate the beds, otherwise we'll have them sooner than we expected.
Modern Times. Wednesday at 9 on BBC2.
They're getting creative on BBC2 in half an hour. More innovations in Change That. First, get snipping.